Yeah, there we go. How's it going? I hope everybody's really well. God, it's terrible to age. You're looking at yourself at the screen, you're like, what's this? What's coming up now? It's terrible. It's very distracting. I can see now why it's all just going to be AI. You won't have to deal with like lines and things and age. And we can see what people are like with age. I mean, look at Brigitte Macron. Oh yeah, our favourite subject. And the way people are like saying she's disgusting, she's old, she's this, she's that. It's to the extent now, right? And I know, groomer and all that, I mean, I know. And she's a man and she's her brother, she's blah. But I'm just like, listen, lads, what are you expecting of her? Do you expect that she's going to look like a 21-year-old model? You know, of course she's not. What age? She's sort of 70, is she? I think Candace Owens has her done is 82. And, you know, if she's 82 and a man, God, can you only imagine what she looks like? I think she looks all right. I think she's actually looking all right. She's a woman. They are her kids. And, you know, when you get older, you get creases and you get lines and things start to sag and everything starts to go to shit, basically. And you don't look the way you used to look. And it's just the way it is, isn't it? But I just noticed online that it's so cruel that there's this thing now. We see it with the transvestigations, which are counterintelligence. You idiots, anybody following along and repeating this stuff, it's obvious counterintelligence, which is everywhere, by the way. It's absolutely bleeding well, absolutely everywhere. We are infiltrated right, left and centre. There are competing agendas. There's counterintelligence. I know they did the story on Dellingpole. Am I sure he's counterintelligence? Highly likely. I mean, you cannot discount where he's come from. The book he wrote, his thinly disguised autobiography, which is more or less telling you, I'm not sure if they have to tell you, if they've got some kind of satanic thing going on where they have to put it out in plain sight. I don't know, but the probability of him being some kind of counterintelligence outfit is very, very high. And to discount that and say, well, you know, the Bullington Club connection, the fact that he's wannabe, the fact that he went to Oxford with David Cameron and Boris Johnson and hung around with them and hung around the same circles as an MI5 recruiter. You're not going to ignore all that or all the weird stuff in his little thinly disguised book. You know, I didn't write. He's the one who put it out there in the public domain. I'm just coming across it going, this is really weird. This is really peculiar. Why he had to write about fancying a kid or his protagonist, who's him, Josh Devereaux. I mean, that was just really odd. Somebody coming, me talking about all this stuff. You need to be in a car park for this kind of stuff. But yeah, the level of counterintelligence is just off the charts. And I think people are very naive about it. I mean, I was as well, because I thought this was going to be just the COVID scam. We get through the COVID scam. We prove that it was a bioweapon and that it was put out to do harm, that there was no pandemic. I thought that was kind of where we were all going. But it turns out there's so much more. Now we're heading off into this war they want to drag us into. And, you know, some people are thinking Donald Trump is here to save the day. And, you know, it's really divided now, isn't it? It's so divided, the whole thing. But funnily enough, the more now I'm like, no, Trump, no. It's, you know, father of the vaccine, Mr. Warp Speed himself. He's not here to help, and he never was. It's funny now, there's kind of a bridge there to the left. That they're kind of like, you know, we're chatting again. And my dislike of Trump and Operation Warp Speed has brought that on. But then they are defending the vaccine. And I'm like, why would you take a vaccine that fella pushed through without the proper checks and balances? And that kind of shuts them up. But anyway, it's all a bit of a mess, isn't it? And there's so much, just Andrew Tate, another Andrew Tate, chief misogynist, and Candace Owens, fake conservatives. And this is, people need to do the checks and balances all the time. The fact that Candace Owens is married to a guy who used to be the president of the Bullington Club in Oxford, which is a club known for its vandalism and its debauchery. They used to hire, now I'm not sure if it happened in George Farmer's day, but the club is known for hiring prostitutes and putting them in under the table when they're having their little dinner, their little push board dinner. And, you know, his connections to the Conservative Party, and it's this phony conservatism. We see it with Candace Owens, you know, there she is all buttoned up pretending to be a conservative, and then she's defending Andrew Tate, what's the other lad, Harvey Weinstein. You know, give me a break. I'm writing a piece at the moment about the gosh, my head's gone. It must be the little bit of sunlight finally peeping through clouds, fake ones all day long, but we still got a bit of sunshine, which was lovely. Yeah, so Candace Owens is fake conservatism, phony. That's why I'm telling you, lads, she's lying about Brigitte Macron. She's sending everybody up the garden path. I mean, I lived in France for 5 years. You know, I have a good idea what the Frenchies are saying about it, just about. And I know anyway from doing what I do, which is analysing the investigation to see if there's any worth in it. I've done it with Richard D. Hall. And even then, people are still going, no, there were no victims. There was no bomb. There were victims and there was a bomb, for goodness sake, at the Manchester Arena. I mean, for goodness sake, people are thick. And we laugh at the left. Oh, the left are thick. No, the right are just as thick. And yes, I can be thick too, you know. Well, we can all be thick, which is why we have to help each other out to be less thick at times. And we all have our little areas of expertise where we can help each other out. And this just happens to be mine, which is why I've isolated the stuff and said, have a look yourself, verify it there for yourself. What do you think? And this is where people are falling down. They're not doing that. They're just going, no, Brigitte Macron, man, her brother. It's got to be true. Look, stop falling for counterintelligence traps and tricks. I know there's a handful out there who aren't falling for it. No, it's just got to the stage now. It's got to the stage where it doesn't matter what angle I go at, there's something wrong. But, you know, 46, 400 you can expect. Anyway, that's the crack. That's where we're at. There's an awful lot to discuss as ever, but we have to enjoy ourselves. I hope people got out and enjoyed the sunshine today. I went to church. I brought the kids to church. There's more discussion there, of course, because a lot going on in these churches too. And a lot of good stuff going on. You know, it's still taking the good, isn't it? It's taking the good. We had our teas and our coffees. I love that after church. And read the Bible. And, you know, that's important. These communities, these little communities are so important for us. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm going to stop it there. Oh yes, I've got that article coming out on Substack about the rise, the normalisation of prostitution and the rise of the everyman pimp. That's the headline, the provisional headline I've put on it so far. So anyway, I've got to finish that off. I think it's going to be interesting. I hope it is. You'll never know. I mean, I put out stuff that I'm like there, and then I get around 2 likes. And then something I just knock off for, you know, I've spent 5 minutes on it, I could get like 100 likes. So I think it's a really bad idea for journalists to do anything for likes or validation. It's disastrous, which is why I proceed with the stuff that's unpopular. But I'm right. I am right.